Let's go.
All right. All right. I think we're here.
It's go time.
I think it is. Cool. Welcome everybody. It's the M-Balm Effect. I'm sorry. We apologize. There's a little bit of miscommunication. Maybe I think I don't know. We'll figure all this out together. But we had some technical difficulties and all that good stuff. But we're here. We're doing it now. So that's where we're here. We're here doing this thing. So I just want to welcome Rebecca here to the show. Friend of the show. She's been a huge supporter, and we support her, and that's the way it should be, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just this thing here. So we're gonna do this together. I hope everyone can hear us. We've had a lot of difficulties with the technical side of this, and at some point, you just got to get into it and just do it, right?
That's what Nike says. Just do it.
Just do it. Yeah. Oh man, I'm seeing all these comments from the YouTube channel and all that. So it's. Yeah, again, we apologize. It's we were hoping to get on here a little bit earlier, and I see that we're live on YouTube now. We're there.
We're worth the wait. We're worth the wait, guys.
We do the best. So, let's see. So if you have any comments, it'll come through and we can pop them up. And I think this'll there it is. Hi, Becky, Paul M here, watching from Penfield. Hello, how are you?
Hi from Penfield.
Well, now that we're on live, okay, we have everything set up here. We're doing the thing. I just I gotta ask, the kitty cat. What's his or her name?
My cat?
Yes.
That's Marina.
Hi, Marina. Look.
Marina's on your M-Balm hoodie. Check this out. Marina, say hi to everybody on the M-Balm.
Aw. What a nice kitty cat. I love it.
Yes, it is.
Rebecca,
it's on your hoodie.
Rebecca is an amazing asset to our community. Yeah, absolutely. And that's why we're here.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I will say that, you bring a lot of faith back into humanity. And so as somebody who, I guess I've grown cynical over my years of being on this earth, 35 years of being here, I've grown cynical. But I will say that with someone such as yourself who does amazing things in the community inside and outside of the Rochester, New York area, I got to say, we definitely need more people like you. And I can tell what you have a passion for what you do. And
yes,
you care. You actually care, which is why, we're having these conversations. And I just got to ask, getting into all of the things that you've done, what was the tipping point in your life that made you want to do exactly what you do?
Like, are you talking homeless? Or are you talking with Sam?
All of it. Because I mean, you think about how you get somewhere, and I mean, just what was the first thing that drove you to start doing this?
I was brought up by a single mother. So I didn't have a father in my life. 43 years ago, my mom started a homeless mission in Geneva, New York. And she basically brought us up like, you should respect everybody. You should love everybody. Be kind. And basically, when I moved up here to Rochester, New York to get a job promotion up here, I looked around and saw that Rochester had a homeless problem, and I started going strong in the community. Veterans, we get veterans off the street. We've gotten actually 3 addicts off the street in 9 days. I'm very proud of that.
Wow.
My mom, I think my mom would be looking down very proud. She didn't do that in Geneva, New York. She basically just fed people, gave them clothes, whatever their necessities were. I took it to a different level up here in Rochester. I help out the veterans, get them housing. If they have addiction issues, we get them off the street and in treatment. We got 2 at Conifer Park right now, and we got 1 at Helio Health in Syracuse, New York. And that is amazing. I love helping out the community. I have a strong passion for it. I think my mom is looking down very proud because I took it to a different level up here.
Yeah, you did. And, especially with you started off here and then now you're helping community in Minnesota, which,
Yes.
we've discussed, a lot of the things that happened it's been a little bit over a year ago now with Sam Nordquist. And,
yes.
It just that whole thing, a lot of the things. So I started this show almost 7 years ago. Next month will mark 7 years. And
wow.
All of the things, I started out, let's see, when I was 28 years old. And I wasn't sure what the exact, topics were going to be when I started, except for I just wanted to talk about hot button situations and topics and all that stuff and include, at least some comedy in there if we can throw some in there. And as the years progressed, the show has changed. A lot of different, things have happened in the last 7 years of doing the show. And the more I do it, the more I realize like this is an important part of our platform is having these conversations. And the more I want to evolve this show, the more I want to have people on, such as yourself, to tell your story and to dive into some of the things that people may or may not know. Because at the end of the day, and I will say without the internet, this wouldn't even be possible. There's pros and cons to the internet. With the internet,
right.
it is very detrimental to one's mental health. And we see it time and time again. There's been a lot of drama surrounding this case with Sam. And there's been a lot of people out there bullying. There's a lot of people out there trying to say some really out-of-pocket stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen it. And I will continue to discuss all of this. And I don't care if anyone likes it or not. These are the conversations that need to be had. And I am all for pushing to continue that conversation on our platform. And, I want to bring this all down to the real level because people forget about this stuff being real life. They see this as an opportunity to, make themselves feel better about themselves because a lot of the people that like to bully are people that are out there that are miserable. And when I see people go on the group chat or the group on Facebook and all that and talk shit about, the family, Sam's family and all that, I hate it. It bothers me, and I know it bothers everyone else that sees it, that actually has a heart. And it's, again, I've said it on the show and I'll say it again. They're lucky they don't know what it's like to lose somebody in a tragedy. And you actually know how it feels to lose somebody in a tragedy because you lost somebody recently that was near and dear to your heart. And, even with that going on, you are still here advocating for Sam. You're advocating for your late fiance, Tim Miller. And, I will say you are somebody who should be looked up just looked up to because you're an example of what a role model should be. They always say don't meet your heroes, right? And I think a lot of people say that in terms of like celebrities and all that stuff. And we should not be looking up to people that are doing these things for money. I mean, just look at all the things that you've done and you're still going through it, And I mean, to me, it's really just, that's awesome. That's amazing. And you're strong. You're a strong person, Rebecca. But I will say, like, how are you doing in terms of all of this?
I have good days and bad days. I talked to Linda and Kayla today. We got a heavy road ahead of us, but I'm not giving up for justice for Sam. Little did I know I would be fighting for justice for Tim at the same time I'm fighting for justice for Sam.
Yeah.
I go to meet with Governor Hochul in June. I had to put it off because of Tim's death. It was supposed to be in March. March just came and almost gone. So I let the Norquist family know this could be put off, and they said that was fine. Because everything I'm actually going through. I want to, have a clear mind when I go up and speak with her, because this is about getting a law in place for Sam. The law would be when they're doing their checks, when they go and do welfare checks, they have to actually visually see like Sam, okay? And they also have to remove them from the situation immediately. Not just like, say, you know, Sam said, you know, a couple of words to the Ontario County Sheriff, and then they're down the road. No, that's not what it's going to be like. It's going to be like they have eyes on them and they remove them instantly. That's what the law is going to be. And we're not just going to have it here in New York or Minnesota. We're going to get it in all 50 states and in United Kingdom and Canada. I'm going full bore on this. I've spoke to Jeremy Cooney. I also spoke to, what's that gentleman's name? He's here in Rochester too. The assemblyman. It's like right on the tip of my tongue too. I spoke to him too. Yeah, I spoke to him. And they like the idea of it. We just have to, we got to improvise a little as far as the law goes, because there's a lot that goes into it. I'm not stopping until there's a law in place. This should not have happened to Sam. Sam should be here.
Yep.
I mean, let alone one person, but 7 evil asshats. Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah, I know. And that's just it. Like, as the updates keep coming out with the trials coming up in the fall, that is going to be just, I'll be covering that. We'll be making sure to update as it goes on, because I know a lot of people are saying it's taking a long time, but I would rather see all the ducks be in a row and all the evidence gathered and everything just right on the table and hold them all accountable for what they've done. And as far as I'm concerned, even outside of the 7, whoever's been involved, had knowledge of this, they should be held accountable as well. And
Scummy Shirley, all that.
I think we all have gut feelings of what to expect. I think we all have gut feelings on what happened that we're not being told. And I think that all of that should be brought to light. And, you know, just I'm huge on talking about, especially because we live here in New York State, and I don't care where it is. It should be like this in all states, federally, where if somebody does a heinous crime, they be held accountable and serve the time that they are supposed to be served, which in this case, especially with a violent, murderous crime, you should probably be sent to jail or prison, for the better terminology, for life. You know, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, if you ask me, capital punishment is something that I really believe should exist still.
Me too.
Because I think a lot of people that are committing crimes or, you know, are going to commit a crime aren't fearful of being held accountable. In this state in particular, and it is completely depressing to know that some of those people, 2 in particular that I know of, Kyle Sage, Patrick Goodwin, those 2 were arrested for having inappropriate conduct with a minor. Now, how does it make somebody want to let them out of prison? Why did the state have any type of opportunity for them to get out of prison? That's what drives me nuts. I don't know if you've heard about this Chad Campbell guy, but he's,
oh God, don't even get me started. He shouldn't have been let out.
It brings me back to Eric Smith.
Right. Remember him with Derek Roby?
Yes. You know, I talked about that 5 years ago when he got let. Yeah, it was 2021 when he got let out, I believe, if I remember correctly. And I brought that up on the show. And I said, I don't understand why they would let this lunatic out. And a lot of people, even if you go back to the 90s when this all transpired, and they had him sitting there in court with a Looney Tunes shirt. They're like trying to make him look adorable, like he's an innocent child. And it's like, dude, the guy is a child. He was 13, lured this 4-year-old to these railroad tracks. He chokes and strangles this kid to death and then sodomizes him with a stick.
Yeah, with a stick.
And we're supposed to sit there and go, yeah, this is a person we want out in society at the age of 40-something years old. To me, it's like, when's the next more horrific crime going to happen? Because it's only a matter of time. I don't know if you remember. I'm sure you remember this. Actually, this is an international story in the town of Webster. I lived in the town of Webster for many, many years. I experienced this myself with the smoke and all that. When William Spangler had set ablaze 7 houses, killed his own sister, and then shot 2 firefighters, killing them.
Yep.
And
that gun came from Seneca Falls, New York.
Yeah, isn't that nuts?
That he used. Yeah, it's nuts.
And that lady that bought that gun for him is still in prison today, which she should be.
Yeah, she should.
So, again, he murdered his grandmother with a hammer back in the 1980s because she didn't give him any money for drugs, threw her down the stairs of the basement and killed her. He was obviously imprisoned until, I believe, 1996 or 98. And then think about how long that was from the time he got out to 2012. It still happened. Right. Had he been in prison still, that would have never happened, and the families of those 2 firefighters would still have their loved ones. And
right.
This is what drives me. It's just, I know it drives everyone nuts. So, I mean, just on your level, like, how do you see, like, do you think there's a way, or do you think there's going to be a time where maybe the government that has the ability to choose to make these things right, do you think there's going to be a time where we see people held accountable and not let out to do these things again?
I would like to say yes, but I'm going to be honest. I don't have any faith in them right now. I would like to say yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it should be, right?
100%. Yeah. I obviously wasn't alive when this whole thing happened with William Spangler, but I most definitely was when he committed the other crime. And it was It was 10 times worse than his original crime.
Yeah.
Same
thing
happened
on Christmas Eve.
It did, yes. I mean, it started as early as, I think, 5:30 in the morning. It was really early in the morning. I left for work. I was traveling.
And they ambushed them, yeah.
Yeah, I was traveling going towards 590. And I saw the smoke across the bay. And I thought to myself, that's a lot of smoke. And I did not know what was happening until a little bit later on. And I heard the name Chipperini as one of the people that got shot and killed. Yep. I knew him personally. To an extent, and just to know that, because he was a lieutenant in the Webster Police Department. If you know me personally, you'll know that I at one point in time wanted to get in law enforcement, so I kind of knew these people, and when I heard that, I just couldn't believe it. So again, it goes back to what happened here with Kyle Sage and Patrick Goodwin. They committed crimes earlier on in their lives. And here we are years down the road committing worse crimes. It doesn't make any sense. It's just statistically, that's just what that's what it is. And unfortunately, that's just what it is. And I understand people want to be humane, but at what point and at what cost are we trying to be humane to people that are violent and do horrific things like they did? It really
crazy.
It is crazy. But, again, with your advocacy though, if you could talk to Governor Hochul, which I don't know too much about her involvement in this whole thing. I know a lot of people, and I myself included, are critical of what any type of politician does, but I wish she would have came out and at least had at least something to say about this horrific crime, because this is over state lines at this point.
I'm working on it. Trust me.
And that's what we need. Someone like you to go in there and talk to her. At least if you can get this law into place. I mean, I think
I'm close. I'm close. But the thing is, I guess what I'm understanding is usually it gets shot down a couple of times. And then you have to keep trying. And I'm willing to keep trying. I'm not going to stop until there's a law in place.
Yeah, that's what it needs. You have the consistency and the persistence to do it, and I have all faith in you, Rebecca, to do this. Suzanne says, "Hi, Rebecca, love you."
Hi, Suzanne, I love you too.
Sheila says,
"Love you too, girl."
Thank you so much for everything you are doing for the Nordquist family and for Sam. You truly are an angel.
Thank you.
Amy says, "You're an amazing person, Rebecca, with such a great heart." 100%.
Thank you.
Justin says justice for all. Period. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Suzanne says Campbell into a motel with women and children. Like, what could go wrong? Yeah, basically, because he got released into Erie County, and I know a lot of people. I don't know if you've seen this on some of the Facebook posts, on the news articles and all that. People are actually trying to defend this guy's release. Like, it's nuts. It's insanity. Like, somebody said, well, he's in Erie County. Nobody has to fear him. I'm like, okay, but
yeah, they do.
I'm like thinking to myself, what? Nobody lives in Erie County? Of course they have to fear him. He's a deranged lunatic who, at the age of 14, raped and killed a 15-year-old girl and killed basically a baby, a toddler.
Would you want to live near him? I wouldn't.
No, absolutely not. I wouldn't want him anywhere near me or my family, and I wouldn't want him near ours. And that's what kills me. That there's anybody out there, and that somebody had the audacity to, oh God, I got to get the comment up because it really it blew me away when I saw this, and I just want to read it because here we go. And this is from a person named Ellen on one of the Facebook posts about this. Ellen said, "This was a terrible tragedy and nothing changes that. I encourage everyone to watch the documentary made about Chad's early life and time in prison and his parole process before judging." I'm sorry. I don't need to watch a goddamn documentary to understand that this guy is a deranged lunatic who has no business being even breathing the air that we breathe, let alone out in society again. So
True.
I don't know where the mindset is of these people that want to post stuff like that. That's crazy.
Because we live in a crazy world. We really do.
We do.
I mean, I've never been in Facebook jail until Justice for Sam. I'm in Facebook jail all the time.
They're always trying to get you. They're always trying to get you, and it's just every time I see that, I'm like, how is that even fair?
You gotta laugh about it. You really do. I'm in Facebook jail all the time.
We gotta
5 times since the first of the year.
We gotta make some shirts or something for you. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, repeat offender. They have a joke up here in Rochester. They call me the repeat offender.
The repeat offender?
They said actually start a fake profile. Call yourself repeat offender. I'm thinking about it.
Why not? You know?
Yeah, why not? I'll drink to that.
Yeah. Same. You know, I will be honest. I've seen some crazy things on Facebook. And it bewilders me how they're even able to post the things that they post on Facebook and not even be put in Facebook jail. You're speaking the truth, and they throw you in jail all the time.
Don't you know the truth hurts?
And it does, and a lot of people don't like it. And I just I just shake my head.
Like when they made me admin of Justice for Sam.
Yeah.
I mean, so many stalkers. So many unreal people, like, the Evil Seven sending their posse in there. Oh, no, we're not having that.
The Dollar Store Manson family sending
their posse. The Dollar Store Manson, Miss Piggy, Scummy Shirley, the whole 9 yards.
All of them.
Yeah. I can't wait to see them fry. I really can't.
I can't believe that there's people out in this world
that support them.
Yes. And not only that, but sat there and said that she wasn't the ringleader in all of this. Which,
she was.
By the way, I don't know if anyone's looked at some of the rap sheet of hers or history, but it's a little damning that somebody would think that. And they try to blame Jennifer for that. They're like, well, Brooklyn was the ringleader. Are you sure? Are you sure? I don't think so. I think she was most definitely a part of it, for sure.
Yeah, she was a part of it.
But not the ringleader.
Not so Precious was the ringleader. 100%.
100%. I mean, I had Des on about a year ago, a little over a year ago.
Yeah, I remember.
And just hearing her side of the story of her time with Precious and those recordings.
I know.
That's eye-opening shit. Because
it's very disturbing.
It's disturbing. And then I heard Shirley's recordings, and it was just about identical to what was being said in the tone and the voice and everything to what Precious was sounding like.
Mhm.
It is an endless, vicious cycle. And I just, it really does show that I could only imagine what even Shirley's life was like when she was younger, because
Right.
I guarantee this stems from a long line of history in that family of abuse and all of the sorts. God knows. I mean, it's very apparent to me that whole thing is just an ongoing cycle, and I feel for the kids at the same time that she had, but then I wonder look what happened with her son, and then on top of that, she brings her little kids into the situation, and
That's very sick and disturbing.
it's most definitely disturbing. It's twisted, and I just look at it and I go, and as a parent, I couldn't even imagine trying to get my kid to be a part of something so fucking heinous and vile.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, it's terrible. But
She should fry. She should fry just for that.
I mean, yeah, just putting young children into the situation, and you know, you got to ask yourself how many more people are out there doing these things, because I guarantee if we really dived into the numbers of how many families are in these situations, it would just be staggering. And I'm not even talking about just here in this state. I'm talking all over the country.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree.
And the fact that our systems in place are failing and not getting these children the help they need, and just everything else in between, But with your help and with all this advocacy, I would love to see at least a little bit of change compared to what we're at now. And just in your time doing this stuff, I mean, with all the talks with people that you've already talked to and all that, I mean, how do you feel they're taking this? Do you think they're taking it seriously?
Actually, it was Assemblyman Harry Bronson.
Okay, I think I did see that name on the chats.
So here, actually, Senator Cooney called Linda. We had, we were on a three-way call. It was very good. He said that he thought, that I had everything pretty much in a row. That I must have studied stuff. I will not stop until there's a law in place.
Yeah.
It's going to be called Sam's Law. Harry Bronson, he says I need to tweak things a little. But I'm supposed to go in and meet with him, I think in another month, to see like what he feels I need to tweak.
Yeah.
Laws are very tough, but we're going to get a law. I'm not going to stop until we do.
Yeah.
We will definitely have a law for Sam.
Good.
It might take a year, 2, 3, 4, whatever it takes. We're getting it.
Yeah.
And I won't stop. I already told Linda that.
Yeah.
I definitely won't stop until there's a law. Me being from Geneva, New York, because people ask me how I became so involved.
Mm-hmm.
Me being from Geneva, New York, I was so disturbed when I found out that 2 actually roamed the same city I grew up in. People go, "Did you know them?" I said, "I seen them around, but I don't associate with people like that."
Yeah.
I was just very, very. I said, Geneva is not like this. I want people to know Geneva is not an evil place.
No.
So we had a candlelight vigil for Sam, and that happened like a month after his body was found. And I was just so taken back by it. I said, I'm going to make sure that people know that Geneva is not evil. Yeah. And we filled that church in Geneva, the Presbyterian Church of Geneva. It was amazing. It really was. All the love and support that came for the Norquest family, all the people that rallied behind the family. And I had 3 days to do this. I go, there's no way in 3 days we're going to fill a church. And because I was in like the second pew, and when I turned around, when he said, "Everybody get up on your feet," I wrote the song called "Love Remains" for Sam. When I turned around, I was like almost in tears. I'm like, wow, we filled this place. We even had state police there from the case. I was like, this is amazing to see the support and love for the Norquest family.
Yeah, when community
And
comes
people
together
go,
like that, it's amazing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And people go, did you know Sam? You don't have to know Sam.
No.
You do not have to know Sam. You don't have to know the family. I love the family.
Yeah.
I've done, we've done a lot for the family. We've had fundraisers, chicken barbecues. I love helping people, and there's more to come.
Yeah.
I won't stop until there's a law in place for Sam.
Yeah, and we need somebody like you to do that, because
we will get justice.
Because I can only imagine how many families have gone through something similar like this, where they've gone to get a welfare check, and then nobody is seen or anything like that. So then the officers leave, and then something horrific like this happens. This will prevent that from happening in the future, and I hope that
absolutely.
I hope it happens quicker sooner than later. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Like me and Linda were talking. We just don't want to see anybody go through what Sam went through. I mean, a horrific death. I mean, nobody should have to be tortured and murdered. I mean, crazy. I mean, just what the poor Sam went through. That's enough to tear at your heartstrings. It was for me.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I've covered a lot of stories on this show over the last 7 years. A lot of them happen out of state. Some of them happened here. But, with the conversations that we had about Sam and the whole case that happened, and a lot of people started to, message in about it. And then I met a lot of people, including yourself, along the way. And it really is astounding how the amount of love and community is coming together, even after something so tragic like this. And there's a lot of obviously dark things that are happening on the internet, like we talked about. But I think what we should really realize is that there are a lot of real people out there with real love, real support. There's people out there that I know probably talked about it until they didn't want to talk about it anymore, and then caused some drama. I heard a couple of that different stuff going on, and that's sad. Nobody should be causing drama with anybody that's involved with this. And again, it goes back to what I was saying. People that are miserable like to make themselves feel better. But, at the end of the day, we got to realize that people like ourselves are real. What you see on the internet isn't what you think it is.
No.
And we see that a lot. And, I just, out of complete transparency, I want to make an announcement right now. The Nordquist family is coming here to Rochester.
They're in Indiana right now.
Yep. So they're on their way
right
here.
now. I talked to them an hour ago.
Yep.
Because I wanted to make sure I could discuss some stuff live, and they said go for it.
Yep. And so with that being said, I want to announce that they will be doing an episode with me in person.
Yep.
And that is going to be a recorded episode, so that way there's no noise in there. Because I don't want anybody jumping on and saying things, and I want that to be a complete. I want them to talk.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And just
yeah.
I want everyone to understand that these are real people, such as yourself, and that they have a story that needs to be told, and it needs to be said who Sam was as a person, and who they are as a family, and what they're going through. I think it's very important to say that we have conversations like that, And again, I know you had a horrible, tragic loss recently, and I just want to pick your brain on that. Like, walk me through what that process was like.
Okay, so 2 days after Christmas, I had pneumonia. So, like everybody knows my homeless mission, Operation Caring Hearts, helping the homeless and veterans get, off the streets in Rochester. I got a veteran off the street, and I was supposed to go have him sign paperwork so he could get his keys on Monday. I wasn't quite over pneumonia yet, so I said, Tim, do you mind going to have him sign the paperwork so everything, he can still get his keys? I don't think I should go. He's like, come with me. He's like, I have to bring your friend to the airport. and then you can see your friend and we'll go have the paper signed. You can stay out in the car. And I said to him, okay. And then I said, wait a minute, didn't you want beef pot pie for dinner? And he's like, yeah, I did. I go, if I'm with you, who's going to make the beef pot pie? So I stayed back. I fell asleep in the recliner because I had surgery. I got attacked at work, so I had surgery, and I fell asleep. And then I woke up in a trance. I'm like, wait, he's not home yet. So I'll just go make the beef pot pie, and I popped it in the oven. So when I popped it in the oven, I said, Tim, the beef pot pie will be ready in an hour. I'll see you in an hour. Usually when you text him, he answers back if he's not doing something. Within 10 to 15 minutes, he'll either call you or text you. Nothing. So I don't know if you know what Life 360 is.
Oh, yes, I do. I do. Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of like a family app where you can keep track of where your family is. And because he had a driving business, I thought it was necessary that I wanted to keep track of him for safety issues if I needed to. So I get on the Life 360 and I see that he had been on Elm Grove Road for about an hour. And I'm like, what is on Elm Grove Road? And then I'm like, wait a minute, the veteran was staying off from Elm Grove Road. But why is he on Elm Grove Road? He should be on Deming Road. So then I looked at, I had missed like 5 messages. So I played the messages, and it was a lady stating there had been a horrible accident, and she witnessed it, and she was with him, and she held his hand, and she goes, he's going to Strong Trauma Center. So, of course, I flip out, started calling the hospitals and, Strong, and they said there's no Tim Miller here. And I'm like, what? That's a little weird. So I called Rochester General because I'm thinking, the bigger hospitals.
Yeah.
And they said, there's no Tim Miller here. And I think the lady sensed that I was upset. And she goes, do you want me to call the rest of the hospitals for you? I said, no, I got this. So I hung up the phone. The doorbell's ringing. I opened the door to 3 Grease police and 2 state police. So I'm like, I go, yeah, I was just talking to a witness and I heard there was an accident. They said, can we come in? I said, sure. So they came in, and 3 of them were down on the ground playing with the cats, which I thought was kind of bizarre. So they basically, the one cop, he was a sergeant, he was with the Grease Police, and he was talking to me, and he said, what did you do today? So I told him from start to finish what we did and why I didn't go with Tim. And I look over and I kind of see his eyes like watering. And he said, as you know, there was a bad accident today on Elm Grove Road. I said, yeah, I heard. And then he said, Tim didn't make it. He said he lived for 57 minutes. All he did was talk about me in those 57 minutes, and he didn't make it. And the moral of the story is the 20-year-old was going 102 in a 40.
Jesus.
And now we got to go through court.
Yeah.
So Tim's not here. He was a great guy too. I just can't believe it.
Yeah.
102 and a 40. What possesses you to go 102 miles per hour in a 40?
I'll never understand it, Rebecca. I'm on the road almost every day, almost all day, every day. And some of the things I see on the road, I just shake my head. I used to drive, not tractor trailers, but I drove trucks for a while, and I would be on the thruway, and I would see people going about 75, 80 miles per hour watching videos on their phone. And I just would question what possesses anybody to want to do something like that and not only risk your own life, but everyone else's life around you. And so it's near and dear to my heart when we talk about stuff like this because, I'm on the road all the time and I see this, and I've seen accidents in front of me. I've seen, aftermaths of accidents that you could tell somebody didn't make it. And there needs to be something said at least about all of this. There's people that you're going the speed limit, and then all of a sudden a pickup truck's behind you, and they're just flying by you going like 80 and a 55, and you're just wondering why. Where are you in a hurry to? So
exactly,
just with all of this, it's sad. Elm Grove, I know that road, and there should be
and it's a stretch that goes from Gate to 104.
Yep, I used to work
which is Ridge Road.
I used to work out that way. So, I just hearing somebody do that and then just causing and of course they survive.
Oh, he only got a scratch on his index finger. I mean, it's really crazy. It really is.
It is.
I mean, just knowing, I know his name because the cops gave me his name, but he's protected because of the court, of course.
Yep.
Because it will be vehicular manslaughter. There's still, can you believe it's today marks 11 weeks and it's still under investigation.
I know. It does. I mean, what is there to investigate? The guy was going 102 miles per hour in a speed zone, and he tragically took someone's life negligently.
And this one guy that reached out to me, like I had like 6 witnesses out of the 8 reach out to me, and he said, "Do you know it started like where Elm Grove and Spencerport Road is?"
Yeah.
So like he blew through that light and he almost hit Anthony, and Anthony said he was going to pass him on the right.
Yeah.
And he said, "No, I'm going to get over because this vehicle is coming pretty fast." And when Anthony got over, that's when the truck blew by him.
Yeah.
And he goes, "This isn't going to end well." And he said he looked up the road, and that's when he made contact with Tim. And he, of course, went up there to the accident scene. And can you believe this guy got out and was going over to try to kick Tim's ass?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, because he said Tim blew the stop sign. Regardless if Tim blew a stop sign or not, which they haven't told me he did.
Right.
So I'm saying that he didn't.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
That's not what caused the accident.
Nope. No.
Speed unreasonable caused this accident.
102. I don't know anywhere that would call for 102 unless you're on a racetrack.
Exactly.
There should be no.
So right now they were saying 82. I heard from a good source 102 until the Greece police release 102.
Yeah.
We have to go with 82, but even 82 and a 40.
Yeah.
And I heard that from the tow truck operator. He just told me, "Don't state my name." I go, "I would never do that. I would never get somebody in trouble."
Right.
He said it was awful. And people were like, "Was he not wearing a belt?" When I used to get in his vehicle, I used to say to him all the time, "Something's wrong with your belt."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, what do you mean?" I go, "It just doesn't feel like it's snug enough." Somehow his belt failed. And they have 2 safety recalls on the belt.
Yeah.
So they're going against Hyundai right now. And Tim did get ejected from the vehicle.
Jesus Christ.
And the door, now you got to look at it this way. How does a driver's side door come off?
Right. Exactly.
His driver's side door came off. That's telling you what impact that accident was. They were saying it was horrible. I'm glad I didn't have to witness it.
Yeah. I'm glad you didn't have to either. I couldn't even imagine seeing that scene as an onlooker, let alone somebody who's close to the person involved.
And the guy he was helping, the veteran lives down Deming Road, and he's a smoker. So where he was temporarily staying, he had to go outside and have a cigarette. So he saw all the emergency vehicles at the end. He took a walk down, and lo and behold, he saw Tim laying there.
Jesus.
And he's going through a lot, and he thought that I would blame him. I do not hold him accountable whatsoever.
No.
This is not his fault. And I told him, I said, "This is not your fault."
John's asking, is that by Unity Hospital?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yep. And tell him that's where they took him because they had to get him to the closest hospital.
Yeah.
Because he was coding. They tried life-saving measures on Ridgeway Avenue 3 times, and Tim died right near Henpeck Park.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it's just the whole situation. It could have been preventable, and that goes back to what
That,
I was saying about
definitely.
everything else with the Sam Nordquist case and everything. Just things being preventable.
That
You know.
that too.
Um.
I
And
mean, think about how much failed Sam, all the stuff that went through the cracks. Precious, how many times she was, investigated. Social services. I mean, think about all that. This could have been prevented.
100%.
And that's what I'm trying to prove. This should not have happened.
I agree.
Sam should be here with his family.
Yep, I agree. And
just like Tim. Tim should be here. We were supposed to get married March 18th.
Yeah.
And people are like, why didn't you marry him? I'm like, well, one has to have good credit in a relationship, and that was me. So it's not that I didn't love him.
Right.
It's just that, when you marry somebody, you marry their credit.
Yeah.
If that makes sense to you. And Tim understood. Yeah. And he finally, on Christmas Eve, he gave me something in a box. And I'm like, what are you giving me in a box? And I opened it up, and it's his credit report. And I'm like, wow, yeah. 802? I'm like 802, this is impressive. He goes, it only took me 20 years. And I'm like, better late than never.
Better late than never.
So he's
right.
like, will you finally marry me? I go, let's do it down in Florida, because we always talked about having a destination wedding.
Yeah.
So we're going to get married on Clearwater Beach, March 18th. But it won't come now.
I know, and I'm sorry. I truly, truly am sorry for your loss.
I know you.
It's just, I've lost people in my life, but, just in that sense, it's a whole different ballgame. And I could only imagine what the thoughts that were going through your head. And you're going through all this other stuff with the advocacy and all that, and then this happens, and now you have to take that on, and it's a lot. And I also know that people like to start stuff on those articles just like before, and I'm sure you've probably had to go through that stuff too on Facebook, because you know how that is, and saying they were trying to blame Tim for this and that. And I guess my question for you is, what would you say to people who treat tragedies like internet drama, instead of real life? Like, what would you say to that?
Get to know the facts before you judge. Tim was wearing a seatbelt. He did not blow a stop sign. Tim he owned his own transportation company.
Yeah.
This should not have happened. I mean, a guy going that fast and almost sideswiping another guy.
Yeah.
Before he got to Tim. And then this lady told me that she was coming the opposite way from, Ridge Road, that going down Elm Grove that way. Mm-hmm. She literally said to me, I just want to thank you. And Tim was helping people in the end. And I go, what do you mean? And she goes, if that vehicle didn't hit Tim, he was coming towards me, and he would have probably killed me and my daughter. So that's the only bright spot of this.
Yeah.
I will say that I have, the community's been wonderful.
Yes.
They really have. They've been really great to me.
Yeah.
The Gates community, people I don't even know reached out to me. I haven't had to make food since this happened.
Yeah, people are giving you all kinds of stuff, right?
Yeah. I mean, they've been really wonderful.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get justice for him. So I told the town of Greece, I talked to Jeff, I forget what Jeff's last name is, but he's the supervisor for the town of Greece.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get a fluorescent flashing speed limit sign.
Okay.
Like right before Deming. It's like right on the Greece Gates border, where Deming is. It's a bad area there. I guess there's been several accidents, I'm finding out. If I can prevent this happening to somebody else, I'll do it.
Yeah. It's just, there's a lot of things that we've seen happen in Greece and all that stuff too. Like we seen that horrific tragedy that happened with the guy from Syracuse who came here and drove a truck engulfed in flames. Yeah, remember that?
And that was 2 people from Geneva. Did you know that?
Yeah, so the people that died, I knew one of them personally, and the other one I knew his brother. And I went to Justina's, wake and all that.
Justina's the one from Geneva, yes.
Yes, yep, I know. I knew her and her sister, and I went to the wake, and I look, it's something that when you know the family and you know the tragedy and you see it in their eyes and you talk to them, look, again, we see a lot of stuff on the internet. There was a lot of speculation going on there with all that stuff. A lot of people starting drama with all that. There's still drama today. There's people out there, claiming that they're clamoring for money because now they're suing Kodak and all that. Well, these people don't understand, the things that are going on behind the scenes. They don't understand what grief really feels like when somebody's not only taken from you, but ripped away from you in such a horrific sight. I mean, I remember just seeing footage of that. And the guy walking out of the truck on fire. And to be honest with you, I'm glad he got what he deserved. I'm glad he finally succumbed to his injuries because, I hate when I see things like he causes a horrific thing like that and then gets to live and all that. At least he got what he deserved,
Oh, absolutely.
So, and I don't know what drove him. I don't think there was ever any
I was going to say, why would he come from Syracuse? Yeah, somebody said he knew somebody inside.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I even had Jeffrey Rogers from GSL News on the show.
Yeah, Jeffrey's good dude.
Yeah, he is. I had him on.
He's out now too.
Yes, he is.
Hey, Jeffrey, you're out. I'm gonna drink to you.
I had him on a few years ago, and I did briefly touch upon that whole thing with him, and because he was the one actually going there and reporting some of that stuff, and that whole scene. Obviously, at the end of the day, his whole intent was to kill people, was to run people over on the sidewalk and cause a devastating blow to whoever was there. But ultimately, the Uber car pulled out. And again, if they weren't in that spot, and I don't want to sound like this is something like that was fate or anything like that, but it does kind of hold.
No, I think he would have hit the building.
He most definitely would have hit a lot more people, killed a lot more people. I just wish it didn't happen at all. I wish nobody had to die that night. And but again, in some degree, that's ultimately what ended up happening. He hit that car and was not able to do, to the fullest extent of his anticipation, do what he was going to do. And it just,
if you think about it, the Uber driver was a hero. If you really stop and think about it, I mean, you don't want to see anybody die, but they were saying, they speculated that he was going to hit the building, and he had how many gas cans in his vehicle?
A lot.
That would have been crazy.
Yeah. I've been in that building after the fact, and I always thought to myself, like, what would it, what was that scene like when that whole thing transpired, with everybody in there and, just on the outside of that. I could only imagine the chaos that was going on in that night, but it drives you nuts though, that there's so many people out there with such ill will and ill intent that they would drive all that way. And it's the same thing with the guy who shot up that Tops in Buffalo. Again, he didn't live in the area. He traveled all that way. He actually came here to Rochester.
Yeah, to West Avenue.
Yes, he was scoping out some Tops there. And he ultimately just chose that Tops in Buffalo. And I watched the footage. It is downright just despicable what this guy did. And then, all this stuff that it's just, why is he breathing still? Can somebody just elaborate on that? Like, why is this guy even getting the justice? Why is he getting basically the freedom to live after what he did? And this is stuff like that really drives me nuts, Rebecca, is that we have a lot of stuff like that going on here in our home, and it just seemingly they're just giving them chance after chance after chance. And I hope that guy gets the justice that is deserved, rightfully so.
Me too.
As far as I'm concerned, death penalty. But
yep, he should. If it's federal, yeah, he should.
It's just, and then we go back to the whole, the dollar store Manson family. And again, just giving them the opportunity to do what they did after all the times that they've been caught up in some bullshit. You know, I guess just all that stuff is just it just astounds me how we can allow that to even go on. But with everything that you've been doing, I mean, how was the Rochester community responded throughout the situation for you? I mean, in terms of, I mean, obviously in terms of Tim Miller, they're giving you food and all that, but like with your advocacy for Sam Nordquist, how have they responded?
They've been great. I mean, the news actually fouls me. We have a lot of people that's following. They're always reaching out to me. They want to do a news article. We have a book coming out. We have a trans author that's doing it. It's called The Road to Justice, Sam's Story. The family will be telling Sam's story. And I got permission to tell everybody this. I've been working with Lifetime Movie Network.
Yeah.
And they would like to pick up Sam's story.
That'd be awesome.
And Linda said it's a go. So she told me I could tell everybody. So we just have to, I guess, meet with the producers. Yeah. And yeah, so Sam's story will be on Lifetime Movie Network sometime soon. Well, probably after the trials, I would imagine.
Yeah, definitely. I would definitely assume that. But you heard it here on the M-Balm Effect. That's what's going down. And that's what's awesome. I mean, and I know we like to focus on all the dark stuff and all the negativity, but a lot of good things are happening. And that's why we're having these conversations. Because, again, we go back to the real life side of it. And, you know, it really does show that there's a lot of good people out there doing good things. And, you know, whether you're out there making a movie or a book, keep the story going. You know, that's what it should be. Just keep the story going.
Sam should never be forgotten.
No.
Never. And I'm going to make sure he's not.
I know a lot of people are basically online saying that they know the reasons why they did this. And it's all just misinformation. No. And Kayla's even said it. I mean, she's put it on there multiple times. You know.
Oh yeah.
And people still spread this misinformation around, you know, stating that they killed him because he was trans. And I'm like, but that's already been debunked.
Right.
So, and that's what drives me nuts. You know, just everyone trying to get their piece of the pie when it comes to what story they want to tell.
Mm-hmm.
Put the facts out.
And they don't realize, you know, what they're spreading, the lies. It's very hurtful to the family.
It is.
I mean, I'm close with the family, and I've seen the hurt. And the family should not have to be going through this.
No.
They should have the love and support of the community. I do think New York has rallied around them. And I think, you know, because they even said that, you know, sometimes they're ashamed of Minnesota. New York has done well for them. And they should. And Minnesota should too.
Yes.
I mean, Sam was from Minnesota.
Yeah.
That family deserves nothing but love and support.
Yeah, I don't know too much about Minnesota. I've never been there. My wife and I have friends that moved out there about a few years ago, and that's about as much as I know. I don't really know what their community's like. I know there's been a lot of controversy lately in Minnesota. I think we've all seen that, but as far as I know, I mean, yeah, it's kind of eye opening that New York would be more supportive.
And Norquist family and Rose, if you're watching, I'm drinking out of my F Squad mug that you guys sent me.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I'm drinking some Sam stuff here.
Yeah, I just, I wish there was things we could do, like go back in time and change things, and maybe one day we'll have the technology to do that. Should it ever happen?
Wouldn't that be good?
It would be good. I guess it would be bad in some way because some people would do some crazy shit, right? But
yeah, oh yeah.
I'm all about talking about that stuff too, like, just the what ifs and all that. But at the same time, the facts are the facts again, and we're at where we're at, and it's just with all that stuff that's being, said online and all that, it really does drive home the fact that people forget that real life human beings are involved with this. But, with all of that, I mean, are you planning on traveling to Minnesota at some point and talking with people out there that way soon?
So, Governor Waltz, we're in contact with him. that we're working together. We want Minnesota and New York to be on the same page. So, yep. As long as I can get Hotchel on board, which, you know, I love Hotchel so much. So hopefully, yeah, we can work together, New York and Minnesota. Governor Walz wants to work together. We just were talking about this today, me and Linda.
Yeah.
I got a call into their secretary to let them know what's going on as far as, you know, me going to see Governor Hochul here soon. So they know. So yeah, we're working together. I'm trying on my behalf.
Yeah.
Like I said, I haven't been to Hochul yet, but you know, Cooney's office has been really great to work with. Harry Bronson's been good. So, you know, you got these politicians on your side. I hope we can continue because we need Sam's Lawn Effect.
Yeah, 100%. Creative Crafters by Beth says, for the book, all proceeds will be going to the family, education, advocacy, and a scholarship fund. That's awesome.
She's the trans author right there.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Beth, for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
We had an hour delay, but
I know. Again, we apologize. We've had some technical difficulties.
And I was supposed to be in studio. I wish I was.
Don't worry.
We wouldn't have had technical difficulties.
If this episode doesn't drive you away, then hopefully we have you in person. It's a little easier to do it in person because it's more fluent and all that. But, you know, again, I'm glad we're able to do this regardless and do this in a remote setting.
And we could be drinking together.
Hey,
where's your drink?
I got a bar full of stuff over there. So.
Oh, I know you do. I wanted to rate it. Come on now.
Well, don't worry. We got some stuff. You'll be here next time, and we can definitely do a cheers and all that good stuff together.
Definitely.
Creative
and
Crafters
Sam
by
loved.
Beth says,
I got this just for Sam.
There you go, Fireball.
He loved this. He loved this Fireball.
Fireball's some good stuff, especially when you have it with eggnog during the holidays. It's always a good time.
Oh, is it good with eggnog?
Oh yeah, it's good.
Okay.
Yeah, I recommend
Cheers,
it.
Sam.
I recommend it. Jennifer says justice for Sam. Sarah says you made it, Rebecca. All that matters. It's right. Yeah, I mean we try to work with what we can, you know. With that, I mean, so I know it's a lot. You get busy, and I know that there's a lot of things that are going on a mile a minute. But what is the emotional toll been like when it comes to all of this for you?
I'm not gonna lie. I had to seek out a counselor. It's not through the Sam thing, but through Tim. I just seeked out and went through my first grief session the other day, and I didn't realize I was like holding a lot of things in. But that's what you need to do. I mean, you need to, you know, because you think you're strong, but are you really? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I guess I felt like I'm strong enough to handle things by myself. But I don't think anybody can handle that. Tim was taken tragically. I didn't get a chance to say goodbye.
Yeah.
So if I can teach anybody anything, please love your loved one. Always say you love them. You never know when that day is going to come. Because I did not think that hug and that kiss would be the last. By far.
No.
But I'll be all right.
Well, just know
I'm a strong person.
Just know you have a lot of us out there that support you, and if you ever need to reach out, feel free, please.
Oh, I'll definitely reach out to you.
Yeah, you already know. You already know. We'll be hanging out.
Oh, definitely.
I mean that in the most sincere way because I tell people all the time, you know, I consider you a friend, so that's why I'm telling you. But I'm just saying, friends and family that I'm close with and all that. I always tell them, ask Austin, ask Andrea. You know, I'm always, you know, if you need something, say something. You know, and I see it all the time. I talk about mental health on this show probably more than I don't want to say more than I should. I think it should always be brought up. But
I do too.
We see it a lot where people, and it's always post-mortem, where people are like, well, I wish so-and-so would have said something before they take their lives and all that stuff. And it's like, but here's the thing, like, these people say that. But at the end of the day, what did they do during that person's life when someone's struggling and going through something? What did they do to really capitalize on that friendship and make sure that they were there as a friend, as a shoulder to lean on? Because 9 times out of 10, when I hear things like that, I'm like, that person probably didn't hear from anybody for the longest time. And it's sad. It should never happen that way. You know?
I actually had a brother commit suicide, and his was like he moved away to Tennessee, outside of Nashville, and he got into like bodybuilding, and they got him into steroids, and it totally changed the guy. I mean, I hate to say it because he was my brother, but he became abusive. And his wife wanted to separate for a little bit, and he basically couldn't handle it, and he went outside the Murfreesboro YMCA, and when he saw his kids going, because he was the coach for their soccer team,
yeah.
When he saw him go in, that's where he took his life, and that was devastating. I was at work, and I opened the door. Actually, I didn't open the door. The staff said, "There's troopers here to see you." I'm like, "Here to see me?"
Wow.
What for? So they basically said, "You need to leave work." And I'm like, "What's going on? Is it my mom?" Because I was thinking my mom. And they're like, "No, you need to leave work and to go tell mom what's going on."
Yeah.
And yeah, that was very difficult. I've actually had a hell of a life. I really have. But yeah. I just want to help people. That's my goal in life. I will do what it takes to help people.
Yeah. And I mean, so with all that, I mean, do you think if none of that stuff happened early on, do you think you'd be in this, do you think you'd be advocating and helping people today?
My mom was, like I said, I didn't grow up with a father. He was abusive. My mom was like a single parent. And she was the kindest woman you ever want to meet. And I see a lot of myself in my mom. And I don't know. I mean, I think I am a product of my mother.
Yeah.
I miss her so much. I mean, she ran that homeless mission, and you know, I'm killing it in Rochester. I just don't. People go, "Do you realize what you have?" I'm like, probably not. Because it's getting huge up here in Rochester.
Yeah.
I mean, we're out feeding people. Salvatore's, I want to give them a shout out. They give me free pizza.
That's awesome.
They don't even take money. You know who Soccer Sam is?
Yeah.
He doesn't even take money from me because he believes in my mission. I mean, I've had people buy tents that are popular people, musicians that's gone big. They believe in my mission. They believe in me. And I guess I don't really realize what I'm doing, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just doing what comes natural.
Yeah.
And people go, "I don't think you realize the lives you're changing. You get people off the street, you get addicts into recovery." And I go, "That's true." Like I had one today say she was ready. I don't know if you're familiar with Lyle Avenue.
Oh yeah.
She said she was ready. And I said, "Okay, I'll be there tomorrow at 11. So I don't ever give them my number, but I take their number if they have a phone. And she basically, I text her and I said, "Okay, I'm on my way." And she said, "Can you wait until 2:00? And I'm like, I'm kind of busy at 2:00. And I go, you got to, between 12 and 1, you got to be ready." So I went to where she was. She wasn't ready.
Wasn't ready.
And so that tells me that, not that she's wasting my time, but if they're not ready, they're not going to be successful. You know what I'm saying?
100%. That's definitely true.
I don't beg people to get off the street. I say to them, "When you're ready, let me know, and I'll be your biggest cheerleader."
Yeah.
And I've gotten several off the street. Like I said, we got 3 in recovery now, 3 at Conifer and 1 at Helio and Syracuse. And I know they're going to be successful because they told me they've had enough.
Yeah.
And Rochester has a huge homeless problem.
It
Huge.
does. It really does. I went to Philadelphia a couple of years ago, and I saw it there too. And I mean, that's obviously
Philadelphia has a huge problem too.
Yeah. But here at home in Rochester, we definitely have a problem, and I hope people understand the severity of it, because it's really astounding how many people are homeless out there.
And it's sad. It's sad.
It is sad. It's downright depressing, and I just wish there was a way we could all just fix it. Beth says, ask Becky about soup, sandwich, and soul. What's soup, sandwich, and soul?
Who asked that?
Creative Crafters by Beth.
Okay, so the veteran that I was telling you about that Tim went to see.
Yeah.
The day of the accident. So basically, Tim, because of my homeless mission, Operation Caring Hearts, Tim wanted to start his Tim Soup, Sandwich, and Soul. The veteran, because he thought he caused the accident because Tim was coming to see him. I said, you know what? You didn't cause this accident. Why don't you help me with Tim's Soup, Sandwich, and Soul? And it's going to be your mission. So we go out and do that every Wednesday for Tim to keep his memory going. And it's amazing.
Yes.
People make soup. Nathan's gives me soup. I don't know if you know where Nathan's is.
Oh, I am very familiar with Nathan's. I love their soup. I love their sandwiches.
Aren't they awesome?
They're amazing.
Their soup is amazing.
It's exquisite.
They think it's great. People will make different soups. That's keeping Tim's memory going. I will die keeping his memory going. It's amazing what people do in the community. And Tim used to say, why don't they love you when you're alive? You know what I'm saying? He's like, they always come when you're dead. He's like, and I thought about that during because, he doesn't have much family left. And he's like, oh, nobody will come see me. That was the farthest from the truth.
Yeah.
For his memorial service. A lot of caring people came. I mean, it was quite overwhelming. People from channel 13, 10, 8. It was amazing.
Yeah, when you see everyone come together like that, it does show you that people care.
They do. And he used to say, why don't they care when you're alive? I guess I got to agree with that. Why don't we?
That's kind of where I was trying to drive home the whole mental health issues where people don't reach out enough. And look, I think I've heard it a lot in my life where someone's like, hey, if you read, if you got something you want to say or you're feeling down and all that stuff, reach out. And then you try reaching out and then they're kind of not there. It's like they don't want to. Exactly. They don't want to have the responsibility to hear you out and try to have to give you advice. And to me, it's like for one, I ask people how they are a lot, and eventually, if I don't get the same reciprocation back, especially as I get older, I'm realizing it's probably not worth trying to force something if it's not there. So why do it? But at least you tried,
Right.
And it goes a long way when you just take a few seconds out of your day and say, hey, how are things? How are you? I get it. We're all busy. We're all doing something, especially someone like yourself. I mean, just you're doing all these things. You have a lot of things going on in terms of, trying to get laws in place and all that. And I don't think people realize how much goes into that. And
I'm going to be honest. I didn't realize how much goes into a law.
Yeah.
It's like until you start researching it, because you don't want to go in front of like senators and assemblymen and, governors and sound totally stupid.
Right.
So you have to write what you want. And it's like, wow, this lady, Brittany Paslakwa, she got murdered in Geneva and I became friends with her family and she told me what it took to get Brittany's law in place.
Yeah.
And she said it took like 5 to 6 years. She's like, be prepared. And I go, do you know what? I'm going to do what it takes.
Yeah.
I will definitely do what it takes. When I do something, I'm all in.
Yeah, you have to.
And I will definitely, you have to be. You know, I mean, yes, I had a setback with Tim's accident.
Yep.
I mean, because I said to myself, I can't concentrate on Sam's Law and trying to get justice for him and Tim at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I will not stop. I told Linda today, I'm not going to stop.
No.
I mean, this needs to be done. This needs to be done.
You've gotten.
I'm from Geneva.
Yep. You've gotten a lot done so far, and you're just going to keep going
yes,
until
I have.
and you're just going to keep going until it's finally set in place. And I think just in terms of what will happen this fall, I really, you know, I think all the right things are going to fall in place as they should. Again, I know a lot of people are talking about how things are taking a long time and that they're getting into the courtroom and all that for the trials a year and a half after the incident took place.
But I think that's good.
I
think that's good.
Don't rush it. Get all your ducks in a row, and
that's what I told Linda. You know, I said, wouldn't you rather see them get it right?
Yes.
I go instead of, say, for instance, you go in and say, for instance, there's a loophole they found.
Right.
Yeah, then exactly. That's going to set you back.
Yeah.
And she's like, I agree with you.
Yeah.
You know, plus we had a DA change.
We did.
You know, that takes time.
Yep.
And they're coming to meet the DA. But I would rather see them take a little, like Tim's case. I mean, yes, I want things instantly. I want the driver charged.
Yep.
But I would rather see them get it right. Yes, I'm going through enough, you know, until then. But to be honest, Grease Police, if you're listening, I would rather see you get it right. I really would.
100%. Yeah. I mean, again, you got to put everything out on the table. You got to have all the facts, all the evidence. And it just needs to be a factual based, you know, thing. They got to be right there in place for everything. And it all has to make sense. Because we've seen it in the past where things just fall through the cracks. The person gets off, they walk, and you just think to yourself, how did this happen? But
exactly
with this, it's just, I think it's pretty cut and dry. But with everything else, though, you can't be too careful.
I agree.
We got Sarah on here. She says, so true. They have to be ready.
Which Sarah?
Santiago.
My girl.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've seen her in the groups and all that stuff.
She's my girl. We talk.
Creative Crafters by Beth says there are a lot of misconceptions regarding homelessness. Sad, really. Yeah.
Oh, my God. They do. They think they're all lazy addicts. That's not true, guys. I'm serious. If you ever want to go on a ride along with me, I invite you.
Yeah.
I mean, I have popular people going on ride-alongs with me. And do you know who I'm taking the next? The M-Balm.
Hey, you know what? I have.
You'd love it. I know you would.
Hey, listen. If you want this documented, we can make this happen. We are
going to make it happen.
We got the gear, Rebecca. So, you know, you just let me know, and I can try to make a time and a place. I'm all about it.
I would love it.
Where are we? Oh, that's
what happened.
The camera switched on me without even prompting that. That's amazing how that could even happen. See, we're still having technical difficulties, and
I think it all stems from me not come to the studio. I'm sorry, people.
Ironically enough, the camera that you would have been on is the one it switched to, and I don't know.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't touch anything. I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't touched anything at all. There's no reason to.
But we can still hear them.
Yeah, they can still hear
Everybody, let's give a round of applause to the M-Balm. He's awesome. He is the greatest.
I do my best. We're back.
Oh, there he goes.
Yep.
He's back.
We're back.
He only lasted a second.
Creative says Tim is with us. Hey, you know, I think I've said it multiple times on this show. I'm a big believer in the paranormal. And, you know,
You ever done paranormal stuff?
I have. I actually am talking right now with a friend who's actually been on the show as a guest about possibly doing a spinoff of this show in the Strange Saloon, which, ironically enough, it was a segment on this show at one point where we did talk about strange things such as that. And I think that I have ideas for things. Have you been on a paranormal investigation yourself?
Absolutely. I work at the psych center, so you know about the old psych center, right?
Which one, Terrence Tower?
Let's go. I think you would love it.
Terrence...
The old one that's still standing. I can get you in at any time.
What? Oh, I don't know, man. That's
it's haunted though. It is. It really is.
Are you talking about Terrence Tower, the real big one downtown on South?
Absolutely.
Oh.
No, not downtown. This is on Elmwood.
Yeah, that's the
Elmwood
one I'm talking
Avenue.
about. Yeah, not downtown, but.
Oh, like... yeah. I thought you meant like downtown. No, it is haunted.
I know people that have been inside there. I've seen videos of the inside of that place. I don't know if I would trust the structure integrity.
Hey, you can go up to the 10th floor. Anything after that, no.
So
I wouldn't trust nothing.
I know people have gone on the roof, said it was an immaculate sight of the city and all that stuff. But I also,
it is.
I can imagine. I've also seen videos of people when the ladder was there to go up, but now the ladder is gone. I don't know how you get up there without risking severe injury or death at this point.
Well, they have an opening. I'm not supposed to say this, but they do have an opening on ground level. You just got to know where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would not trust no ladder. Heck no.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of heights and all that. I've been in the parking lot. I've taken pictures of this place too, and I've been pretty, I wouldn't say obsessed.
Did you see the graffiti?
I did see the new. I drove by it it was last week. I drove by it and I saw the front of it, and whoever got up there, man, they risked their life to do that.
I know, right?
But
and those are homeless people. They said they're homeless to do that. I don't think so, though. I don't think so.
Have they seen the videos on YouTube?
Oh yeah.
Those are not homeless people. Those are kids with GoPros.
No. Not at all.
Listen. I think that building has a lot of bad energy. I think a lot of bad things happened. I don't know if the story's still out there, but there was something I remember years ago. I think this was like 2011, 2012. I was doing a lot of research on that building because I was very curious about it, and I stumbled upon a post or an article or some sort where somebody had broken out of the Terrence Tower Psychiatric Hospital, and they found themselves in New York City. I think this took place in 1992, so a few years before it actually closed. And the person went to New York City, got on a subway train, and stabbed a woman to death. I mean, his
name was Scott. Scott?
I don't remember exactly.
I think it was.
But I saw that. I also saw that somebody had jumped out of the window and unfortunately fell to their death.
He did. He jumped to his death, yeah.
So this is
the last time I was in there, I heard doors slamming and people like running behind me.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's time to go.
So you went in there obviously after it closed down?
Oh yeah. I'm an employee for them. So I go in there, I wouldn't say once a year, but I haven't been in there in a year and a half. I mean, it's just, I don't think it's structurally sound anymore.
No. I think, so I know they wanted to tear it down and put apartment complexes and all that stuff there, but I don't know if that's a lucrative move because it's going to be very expensive to destruct that building with all the asbestos and all that.
Asbestos.
Yeah. Yes. I don't think it's safe either. I think all that asbestos.
I heard Hyatt Regency bought it and they wanted to have a hotel up there. That's what the last time I heard.
I don't know how they would even go about that. I just know that
they would have to tear it down, but it would cost millions to tear that down.
That's what they said. It was like $32 million, I believe, from what I remember reading.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, how is that lucrative if you want to create a business out of that?
Right. So you're going to be in the minus for a while.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to tear it down, to be honest with you, Rebecca. I think
no.
I want to, and I hate to say this, but I want to say that building will stay until it collapses itself.
Yeah, because the city of Rochester, because I asked, why don't you guys tear it down? They're like, oh, it's going to cost like $36 million or $38 million.
Yeah.
And then somebody did tell me, and I did find out it was true. Somebody did buy it. But they haven't made a move, so they must have found out after the fact how much it's going to cost.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're probably saying, oh, no, we're just going to keep it up. I'm like, that's crazy, but.
Yeah.
whatever.
Kayla says, I used to work at hotel in Red Wing, Minnesota, and it's said to be haunted. The Red Wing St. James. I was working in a restaurant in the basement of the hotel, and I swear I heard my name called, and I was the only one there.
Wow.
I was what they call a house person. I cleaned all public areas in the restaurants when they were closed. Yeah, I love how it took a turn to this, because that's what happens on this show. Nothing's really planned. I mean, I have a few questions I line up, and then we go into the genuine, like, organic conversations, and it always ends up in one way or another. But, you know, that's the whole point of these podcasts, really, is just to be able to document real life conversations with real people. And, you know, I've gone on countless investigations in my life for the last, I would say, 17 years. And so I've been in a couple different places. Rolling Hills was one of them. I'm sure you've
Isn't that cool, the asylum there?
Yes. I will say, I really, I've had people come on the show and talk about the owner, and I've witnessed it myself. I felt like I was getting judged for things that I wore there, and it's not fair.
Really?
Yes, it's not fair. And so I just, that kind of part of it turned me off from it. But other than that, being in that asylum and just being in the hallways and going to Roy's room, who he actually had gigantism, and his family dropped him off there because back in the day, you know how things were different, and they left him there. I think the only person that visited him was the mother, and he lived the rest of his days there.
That's crazy.
And so, you know, going into that room, though, I know he liked classical music and all that. I did take music on my phone that was like classical and play it there, and you just get a sense of feeling like as if you're visiting with somebody. And the bed in that room is completely just, it's huge. It's gigantic. It's insane how big that bed is. So just him, you know, and just seeing all these pictures of him, you know, I guess there's like apparitions of him and all that people capture. He was a large man, and so the shadows that they capture on these cameras are of a large person. I mean, how do you explain that, right? I mean, how do you explain that? But yeah, I definitely I definitely recommend at least trying it, because if you're out there and you haven't tried a paranormal investigation, I know a lot of people are very closed-minded about the paranormal. I'm very open-minded. I've explicitly said
Me
why.
too.
You know, seeing a decapitated man walking back and forth in your bathroom, your childhood home bathroom when you're a kid, that opens a lot of questions. So as an adult, I've always been very curious about it, and still am. But
You ever heard of Willard Psychiatric Center?
I've heard of it. I've never been.
So my mom was a charge nurse there, and it closed. I think Governor Pataki closed it down to save, I don't know, money.
Probably.
And that's haunted too. That's outside of Geneva, New York. Yeah, going like towards, you know where Romulus is?
Yes, sort of.
If you see Amish horse and buggies, you know you're in Romulus. But anyways, yeah, that's haunted too.
Wow.
That's a good paranormal place to go to.
Yeah. I've been, so Palmyra is one of my favorite places to go.
Yep.
The Historic Museum. I've been there 3 times. The first time I went there was back in 2011. The basement was off limits. So we investigated there, and we investigated the old Phelps store. That everything is in that little store. It's been left there since 1940. I forget what it is, but since the 40s. And the other 2 times I've gone, which recently was last year, we went down to the basement. And I don't know if you know the story about that historical museum.
I don't.
So the museum that exists today wasn't the original building. As a matter of fact, it's actually a mishmash of different buildings. What originally sat there was a house. And this is like back in the 60s. There was a mother and 6 children that burned to death in a house fire.
Wow.
The belief is that her husband and the father of these kids purposely set the fire and wanted to move on with somebody else. granted, he did live until an old, ripe death. I think recently, as in like the last 15 years, he died. But going into that basement and seeing all the remains of the house that was once standing there and all the ash, I mean, literally, there's the frame of that house that still exists. You can see like all the blocks and all that. You can see the char. You can kind of still smell like smoke. I don't know how to explain it.
Wow.
There's like little children's shoes that you could. It's really something that if you went there, you could feel the heaviness of that atmosphere, and just it really opens up your mind when you're in those places, especially when you're there and you have all this equipment. The first time going down in that basement, I had a live of that on my personal Facebook page years ago. This is back in like, I think 2017. So it was way before the show existed. And we had this voice box thing that you could, in I guess in theory, talk to whoever's on the other side. And there was a conversation. You can hear children talking and a guy with a real deep, gravelly voice. And at one point, you could hear him say, "Don't say anything." Almost as if he's telling the kids, "Shut up, don't tell them anything." And that I have it on. I'll have to dig through all these years of posts and all that stuff if I can find it. But it's still just to this day, I remember hearing that in person as it was happening, and I'm just thinking to myself, that's eerie. That's insane. So
that is crazy.
It is. Now, my last thing I want to talk about is the place where, unfortunately, this whole thing transpired with Sam, Patty's Lodge. I drive by.
Oh, yeah.
I drive by it all the time, and
I harass them.
Every time I drive by this place,
isn't it crazy and creepy?
I ask myself, who in their right mind would want to move in the apartment that this happened in, and how do you not know that this happened there?
So, like, I talk to people from there. Like, every time I go towards Geneva, I'll, like, go Canandaigua way. And, like, I'll drive in there, and I'll be like, "Oh, so, like, you live here?" And they'll be like, "Yeah." And, like, they'll say most of the people that live there get out of prison. Mm-hmm. Isn't that sad?
Very.
And they own the hotel next door, and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's so creepy, and somebody's in the room, Sam, where it happened. It's crazy.
I did see that somebody's inhabiting that apartment, or whatever you want to call it, and I call it hell. So
it is. It's hell.
I used to work for a company known as Schwann's Home Delivery years ago.
Oh, yeah. Schwann's. I used to love Schwann's.
They closed down. So when you talk about Geneva, first of all, I know a lot of people out in Geneva. And again, I'll even back you up on this. Geneva's not a place where it's all evil. Okay, I've met a lot of great people out there. Mm-hmm. So I just want to say that I can also confirm this. But I actually had a time where I had to deliver to somebody that lived at Patty's Lodge, and it was not the most inviting experience I've ever had. And I would say this is probably, oh God, this is what, 2018, 2019? It was right before COVID, I believe. And there was a guy who had ordered, and I could tell there was children inside. And I got a bad vibe from this place. But now, like, looking back at it, after all this stuff has transpired, I understand why now. And every time I drive by it, just to see it still in operation, that people still live there, it's nuts.
It needs to be shut down and leveled. It really does.
Yeah.
We need to make a park, like a Justice for Sam Park or something.
Yeah, I mean, there should be something, not that place.
And a lot of people don't know that we have a Justice for Sam. We have a tree down there in Lakefront Park in Canandaigua.
Yes.
I started that about a year ago. Yeah, a year ago.
Yeah, I was able to visit it, and
yes, you were.
It was nice. It's just to see the photos and everything the way it was. It was nice.
Yeah, and it's very peaceful down there. At first, we were going to do Geneva, and then I said, you know what? Maybe we need to get out of Geneva since couple of the evil two were from Geneva. So I needed a peaceful place, so we did a willow tree in Canandaigua, and it's gorgeous there.
It is.
We actually have a tree plate that came in about 2 months ago. The family wants to wait until springtime to put it in. So it is here. They're awesome to work with, Canandaigua Public Works. I got to give them a shout out. Kylie's amazing to work with. He's been very good to me. So when I was looking for the perfect place for Sam's tree, he like sent me different pictures, and I'm like, I don't think we want to be on a main drag.
Yeah.
You know, I want something that the family can visit, people can go and visit, that's nice. So when they invited me to come to Canandaigua, and we were breaking ground on the tree, and all the news was there. It was so chaos. There were so many news stations, newspapers, Geneva Times, Finger Lakes Times was there. I literally cried.
Yeah.
We're right on Canandaigua Lake. Right on Canandaigua Lake.
Yeah, it's amazing over there.
It's beautiful. They said, "What do you think?" I go, "Oh my God." I go, "This is awesome." I go, "Without paying the taxes."
Right. I know.
I mean, it's a beautiful tree.
It is.
And it's grown so much since we put it in. It's almost been a year.
It has, yeah. It has been. Yep.
Mhm.
Sarah says they need to shut that hole down. Creative Crafted by Beth says, I thought they were closing it down. Kayla says that place
can only
is evil.
hope.
I will never stay at a motel again. Well, that's
exactly.
Seriously.
It's very evil there.
Yeah, I got to say, I would like to see that place be held accountable to some extent, because nobody can tell me with a straight face that they didn't realize that something horrific was going on there.
Do you remember when this first happened? And I keep telling the family, that guy came on your show, and I can't remember his name, but I heard he's been arrested. He came on and said, yeah, he said somebody asked him to pet sit. Remember that?
Yes.
And he goes, "Oh, they asked me a pet sit, but they didn't have any pets." That wasn't a red flag to you?
Yeah, exactly.
That they don't have pets, but they're asking you a pet sit a person?
Yeah.
And I remember calling him out on it, and he had been arrested for, I don't know, something with sex with the children or something, somebody told me. And we called him out on it, and we were like, okay, well, at least you came forward and stuff like that. But could Sam have been saved if he came forward? I think he could have been.
Well, that's just, yeah, I remember having that conversation with this person on the phone on the show. And I remember saying, I do remember saying something about, if you see something or hear something, say something.
Say something. Yeah, you did.
And
yep.
It just, yeah, look, I don't like to judge, but I'm not surprised if that did happen to him and he got arrested for something like that. Again, not a lot of things. I would say nothing good comes from Patty's Lodge. Nothing. No. And all those children that are there, I feel for them, because that is not a place for any child to be.
How do you have files there with children? Explain that to me. I just don't understand it.
I wish I could explain it to you, Rebecca, but unfortunately I'm asking the same question, because aren't there supposed to be policies, rules, and laws in place for that to not happen? But yet it's happening right around our backyard. And it just makes you wonder, well, how does that happen? What loophole is that?
Right.
And it's sad, because there's not much anybody can really do about it, except for at least talk about it. This is the little least that we can do. But at the same time, is our voices going to be heard? Is anything going to happen and be a result of it? Is anything going to change? I hate to say it, but I don't know. I don't think it has. I don't think it's going to. No,
it hasn't. It hasn't changed in this number of years. I don't see it changing.
Yeah.
But I will say this. I will not stop until we get Sam's Law in effect. And that will be a change.
And it needs to be a change. I remember I did travel to the lodge, and I made that little video, and some guy had commented,
I remember that.
Some guy had commented on there saying, "Oh, you need to stop bothering people, and oh, you're just doing this because you make money or something off of it." And I'm like, dude, I don't make anything off of any of this stuff.
You don't make nothing.
The only thing I make is if somebody buys merch or wants to put in like the super chats on YouTube or anything like that. That's all new, by the way. That didn't exist a year ago. But, as it pertains to the live streams and all that, no, I have probably spent a disgusting amount to do this show, where a lot of people would have
Yes,
quit a few months in. I'm not doing this for money. So I laughed when I saw that. I'm like, dude, don't even. It's like, and I know there's people out there that probably have covered things like this, and probably, I don't know. I know there was one lady that was covering this story at one point, and I've heard some things about her, and that she made her money and that she went away. And I don't know if that's the case or not.
I know exactly who you're talking about. Is exactly right. It's a shame what she said about the Norquist family. It's a shame.
I don't know exactly what she said, but I do know that.
But she made money. She made money on clout, and that's not right.
It's not right, and that's the stuff that pisses me off. Like, at least be legitimate and genuine with what you're doing. If you're doing something for money, don't do it. I make absolutely no money supporting the Norquist family. I've made them money. I will continue supporting them to the day I die. Yeah.
They're my family now. I love the Norquist family.
Yeah.
I mean, here. Sam is with us. I have Sam on. There's Sam right there. And his bracelet right here. Tim actually died with his bracelet on.
Did he?
They asked me if me if I wanted it back. I said nope. It can go with him.
Yeah.
And this is the merchandise you guys are missing out on. This is the M-Balm right here.
Just a little
You guys got to get your merchandise.
I don't know why it's showing that like that, but yeah, it's like a little low. But yeah, I mean, we appreciate your support and everyone else that supported us. You know, again, like going back to what I was saying about community, that's the one thing about this show that I really love to see grow more and more is the community, because I'm not going to sit here and compare myself to big podcasters like Joe Rogan, but let's be honest. I think our communities, our little communities need something like that, a platform where these things are talked about and all that. And I think it really makes sense to do that, especially, you know, and I don't care if you live in Rochester or not, you're still a part of that community, regardless if you're in Minnesota, Arizona. We've had listeners from Egypt and South Africa listen to the show, and, you know, even in Canada and whatnot. And it's just like, I don't care if you live here or not, you're part of this community, and that's all that matters. Right. So, you know, that's the one thing about the show that I always, you know, anticipated doing was growing a community, you know, talking about life experiences, having fun while we can. You know, and I know some people may not understand the jokes that we come up with once in a while. I like to make people laugh. I've always done that since I was a kid. I've always made off the cuff, out of pocket comments just to make people laugh because it's fun. I like to see people have a good time.
Can you please talk about Miss Piggy?
Oh yeah. I've talked a lot about Miss Piggy the last year or so, and it just, you know, but the whole point of it is like when we talk about the reality of it, though, at this point I want to talk about, you know, all the good things, you know, and when the Nordquist family comes into studio, we're going to talk a lot about like who Sam was a person, you know, and what his, you know, demeanor was like and who he was before this whole thing transpired. And I think that's really important to do because a lot of the things that happen on the internet, it gets a little convoluted and things get drowned out. And I don't like that. I think people need to remember Sam for who he was, you know?
Exactly.
So, and I think a lot of that does get lost. Unfortunately,
it really does. I mean, people tend to judge, and it's like, get to know the person. Sam, I mean, I feel like I know Sam.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I never met him.
No.
But I mean, just hearing the stories from Linda, Kayla, you know, Mason talking, I feel like I know Sam.
Yeah.
You know, and he was such a great person, and he should have never been taken from his family.
I agree. It should never have happened. Kayla says Chardonnay Bay. Is that who the lady was? I
didn't say no names.
I didn't need that. Kayla put it out there, so I figured that it does sound familiar. Listen, you know, I don't know her personally. I saw the things she was doing before all that stuff transpired, but it is a damn shame that, you know, anybody would try to get money out of clout and all that stuff. And it's just, you know, listen. If that's what your intent is, then maybe you should you should second guess what you're doing in terms of content creation. You know,
exactly.
You know, to me, it's like I pick a lot of things that I talk about. A lot of things I like to talk about are things that make people think, or it's a lot of extreme stuff that it makes you laugh a little bit. And then I get topics like this where it does hit home, and you know, we talk about it in different instances because it's something that does need to continue to be talked about. Count C's on here. He says, anyone who knows you knows you're a genuine guy who cares about spreading awareness and supporting the right side of history in the community. Much love. Yeah, I mean,
you got
listen,
that right.
I like, listen.
I'll drink to that, Count C.
I don't have much left of this monster, but I'll take a sip. Listen.
What happened to your peanut butter whiskey?
Oh, it's back there somewhere. I had it last week.
Darn you. You're supposed to be drinking in your glass.
I know. But, you know, this show has evolved over the last 7 years. There was a lot of group of us at one point, and it's dwindled down over the years because, unfortunately, people do things that cause split ups. It happens. And, you know, in that time, as I started this out when I was 28, like I think I said in the beginning, now I'm 35. And I'm trying to change certain elements of the show to kind of go hand in hand with what should be talked about more. You know, don't get me wrong, I'll always throw out some crazy one-liners and shit like that comes off the top of my head. And maybe some people laugh, maybe some people are disgusted, or maybe they second-guess why they're listening to the show. But at the same time, though, the reality does hit. And, again, it goes back to the community. You know, it really does. Without your engagement, it most definitely wouldn't be what it is today. And I just want to say thank you. Because, again, this is not about money for me. I don't know what other people are doing, and that's on them if they're doing it for money. That's just not the right way to go about it, because you're going to fail. Your heart's not going to be in it. You know, how many podcasts existed in Rochester, New York that aren't here today?
Oh, I know, right?
You know?
True.
And sadly, they don't make it. And it is what it is. It just, if you don't have the heart for it, then so be it. But Sarah says, yep, exactly who you're talking about. And she has one heck of a disrespectful sister. How dare she speak to Linda like she did? Yeah, I don't know the details of what happened. I do know.
I mean, just very rude to them. Very rude.
That's nuts.
I mean, disrespectful. And the Norquist family didn't deserve that.
Kayla says, I'll be the first one to call her out. I don't give a fuck.
they really thought that they had somebody that really cared about them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, how do you go from point A to point X at that point?
Right.
I don't understand that. But then again, I always tell my wife this. I go, I don't understand people, but at this point in my life, I really don't want to understand where they're coming from, because that way of thinking is pretty toxic. It's pretty messed up. I don't even like the word toxic, but that's the only way I can think of, like, describing it. But yeah, listen, you know, if you see something that I'm doing, it's because I care. I mean, that's why I spend countless hours doing the things that I do. It's not because I'm getting paid to do it. It's because I actually give a shit. You know, and think about how many people are doing, like, all these things that, and it depends on, like, who they are as a person, because, you know, you see a lot of people do some really questionable stuff for money, which is weird, but, like, to involve a tragedy and get clout off of it and then pretend to be the family's friend and then do the things that this lady did, I couldn't even imagine. Like, why? Why wake up one day and think this is what you want to do? What do you benefit?
Because you're evil. It's evil. It's evil.
It's evil, and it's downright sad.
It's very evil to do.
It's downright sad.
I told Linda and Kayla, I said, here's the deal. You got to remember, this is a high-profile case. Not everybody coming to that trial is there for you. Yeah. I think you should make a list of people you want to come, and of course, you'll be on the list. Because think about that. You know, the family's going through enough.
Yeah.
Should they have to endure more because people are there just because they want to be nosy? They don't need that.
No, they don't.
They need love. They need love and support.
Yes.
They're going through enough. They're going through a nightmare. Like me and Linda talked about today. I really didn't think I'd be able, you know, you can understand what they're going through, but do you really know what they're going through?
Right.
Then Tim happens. I definitely know what they're going through.
Yes. It's
two different things, but if you, like me and Linda talked about, it's still murder. Tim's is murder, if you stop and think about it. Vehicular manslaughter is murder.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, so I was like, wow, you know, I didn't think I'd ever be going through this. And so we're going through it together, really.
Yeah.
You know, two different things, Sam should be here. Tim should be here.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
Kayla says yes. She called my mom fat and old. That's fucking disrespectful.
Fat and old? That's all she has for you?
Listen, I will say this. You'll get those people in your life. They'll do that shit. But just remember, you have people like us who will continue this conversation and actually have your back. So
exactly,
you got to take the good with the bad, and sometimes that it happens that you find out some people are not your friend. They're not who you thought they were, and then the people that are there for you, you still have us. And that's really what matters.
Yep.
Rebecca's going to keep doing her thing, and we're going to keep doing our thing on our end. So, I just
yep.
Look, it's depressing. I hate when people do that. It should never happen. But this is the world we live in, unfortunately.
It's really sad. I mean, I don't know why people just can't come together. It makes you sick.
It does.
I mean, why can't you come together? Wouldn't the world be such a better place if we all came together and loved one another,
I don't disagree.
One another?
I don't disagree. I really wish that there was. And it just goes back to stuff that I've been talking about in recent episodes with tribalism and all that stuff, where people just want to just be set in their own ways and whatever side they're on. And it's just, we should all really think about it, because we're all experiencing life together, whether we like to admit it or not. And, we should at least take the time to kind of understand where someone's coming from. And
absolutely.
We might not understand it completely, but at least take the time and effort to at least have a sit down and understand where someone's coming from, And I don't think people want to sit down and have that hard reality. They just don't, because then they have to question everything that that they believed in their whole life. God forbid you question anything that you've believed in.
I agree.
I've always believed in what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. So. The kitty cat agrees.
I know, right? Marina, look, you're on the M-Balm Effect. Say, oh, yeah. Say, you're perfect. You're perfect.
We're going to have to get a little hoodie for the kitty cats out there.
I know. You got to make cat suits.
That would be cool.
The cat loved laying on it, didn't you? Mm-hmm. Yes, you did.
Yeah.
They really did.
I love cats. Animals are 100%.
I know, aren't they? And you know what's weird? Like, when Tim brought that cat, I didn't really want another cat because we had two.
Yeah.
So Tim brought this cat back from Brockport because he saw a little kitten alongside the road, and he saved it. And I'm like, another cat? So the cat was so small, we had to feed it by a bottle and pate mush. And then I go, I'm just going to get rid of the cat. But once you start doing that, you develop a relationship with the cat.
It's true.
So Marina's here.
Yep.
And I'm glad she is, because she's gotten me through a lot. She really has.
They truly are. They do know that something's not right. And
oh yeah, because they're still looking for Tim. This is 11 weeks today.
Yeah.
They look under the bed. The other day where was I? Oh, I was actually at my job. I had to go in. They wanted to know when I was coming back, and I get a call from the security company stating that the police are on the way, that somebody had set off the alarm, the window sensors. The cat was sunning itself, and the tail kept hitting the window sensor.
Mm-hmm.
So I get home to about 4 police there, and they're like, can we take a picture? This is great. I'm like, picture of what? They're like, your cat is the cat burglar. I'm like, what? And they're like, it set off the window sensor. I'm like, oh, go ahead, take a picture. So it made the Gates news. I'm like, okay, cool.
Hey, sometimes it happens. Kitty cat has to be the star of the show.
They said they'd rather come to those calls.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I also wanted to show you guys at Tim's memorial, a lot of Justice for Sam people came.
Yeah.
And look at what they made me. Look what they got me. They got me this pillow of Tim and me.
That's awesome.
Down in Florida.
Yeah.
And it means the world to me. It really does. Yeah. I mean, they showed up in full force, and I will definitely cherish that forever. Linda and Kayla, they had me on video so I could give them shout outs. It was just amazing. I've met so many amazing people through Justice for Sam.
Yeah.
I've met a lot of asshats that I had to block. And
yeah. I mean, we
I've
had
met,
people on.
I've met more.
We had people on our end that were trying to sit there and threaten to sue us because we shared photos that they publicly put on the internet for everyone to see and describe who they were and play recordings of what they left on our page. So it's amazing. You know, we've seen it all. We've seen it all.
I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have.
Maybe not as much as you have, but I will say we've seen enough to know what kind of craziness happens on there. It gets kind of nuts, but and even Kayla
it really does.
She says so many people have said some really mean, hurtful things, but all the people that have had our backs overcome the haters.
Exactly, Kayla. What did I tell you, Kayla? You got to ignore them. Keep moving forward. Keep shining.
Yeah, just block them.
Haters hate to see people win.
Yeah.
I even have haters in a homeless mission. How do you have haters in a homeless mission? Are you kidding me?
Don't you want to see people like thrive? Don't you want people to see success? Don't you want to see any of that stuff? Like, what's the? I don't get it.
I love to see people win in life. I really do.
Yeah.
That's my goal. You know, like you, I want to see you win. Because you've done a lot. You really have.
I do.
You've brought a lot of people. You've brought a lot of people together. I love Andrea. I love Austin.
Yeah.
They're awesome people. I want to see you guys win. I want to see you guys get so big, you know, and stuff like that. But then again, is big all that?
So
wouldn't you rather have quantity than quality?
That's where I was going to go with that, you know. So a lot of people want to wake up one day and find themselves having 3.5 million followers, subscribers, all that stuff.
Right.
I'm appreciative and thankful for the community that has already grown with this podcast, granted through unfortunate events, but at least it grew, and I can see that people actually care about all the stuff that happens. Now, I know that we battle the algorithms. Facebook isn't always on our side either, so we know. They like to hide our posts. I hear people all the time ask me, you know, when are you going to go live and all that? And I'm like, well, I did post something on the page, and then I look and it doesn't show anybody engaging with it. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. But
yeah,
this is why I always say the best thing anyone can do, and it really will help us, you know, through and through with growing, is if you go to the YouTube channel on the M-Balm Effect page, subscribe and hit the bell. That will be the number one way you know when we go live. Facebook likes to hide it, and I don't know why. And it's funny because I'll do like short reels and all that just to like throw some, you know, entertainment value out there. And for whatever reason, those blow up. But like when it comes to like full length podcast episodes and all that, they don't want to advertise that as much. And I don't understand why. Maybe it's because people have a shorter attention span and maybe 20-second videos is more their thing. I'm old school. I like the full format. You know what I mean? That's just how I am. You know, and of course, you know, like another way you want to support us is if you go to the M-Balm Effect page and get yourself a TME 2026 hoodie. It's pullover. It's $34.99. Rebecca's got a hoodie. It's not this one in particular, but it's the other pullover that we did, which I love it.
Right here, guys.
Yep, it's
and
right
I'll
there.
show you the back.
Yep.
What does this say? Rated M for what does it say on the back?
Rated M. So.
Yep, M. You know what that means.
I'm an avid gamer. I know that, you know, not everyone's a gamer, but
I love that hoodie. I've gotten so many compliments on that hoodie.
Yeah. So that was where I got the rated M.
A lot of people have joined you because of my hoodie too. They said that.
I'll be honest with you. I really do appreciate all the support and all the love that we've gotten. And I don't like to sit here and say that, you know, we're on the same level as you, because you're out there doing the groundwork. You're out there trying to push the stuff, but we'll do our best to keep this conversation going and to keep everything in reality. So my whole thing is I want to have more people on to talk about their story and what they do. And this is a perfect example of what I mean. Like, having the platform for you to join us and talk about what you're doing is so important, especially in terms of like this community that we live in. But, you know, just if somebody didn't know you existed out there and then they see this and then they're inspired to do something similar, that's amazing. you know, and I know a lot goes into it. You've said it, but if it can spark a little inspiration from somebody, have at it. That's what we like to see.
That's the whole thing, inspiring everybody to make them want to be better.
Yeah. And that's the way it should be. You know, I definitely think it holds true when you see people do other things like that, and then you see a little bit of that in you, and maybe you start something from it. And don't be scared to start something, because I get how intimidating it can be to start doing a project or advocating or even doing a podcast. Like it's a little overwhelming. There's a lot that goes into the things that you're about to get yourself into that you might not know. But start. Pick up the pace a little bit, get a little bit of grounding, and then evolve from there. You'll be fine. Not everyone starts off perfectly. You can't. You just can't. It's not going to happen that way. You're going to fail once in a while. And I think you learn more from failing than you do from being successful.
That is true. I
wholeheartedly believe that.
Who would have thought I'd be sitting down with Tom Golisano in June?
Right.
He wants to know about my mission. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, Tom Golisano? And, so I did some research of him. He sounds like a pretty good dude. I can't wait.
Yeah. 100%. There's a lot of people out there that are really good to get the ball rolling, and I would say Tom Golisano is one of them.
Lou Graham's another one from Foreigner.
Lou Graham.
He's done a lot.
He's amazing. I
told him so when he donated. I said, so you really aren't as cold as ice. He laughed.
I remember meeting him back in 2008. There was a Tom Walls that existed in Webster, and they used to have a car show. I forget, it was like every Thursday, I think it was. Maybe it was every Wednesday. I don't know. But that was my first time meeting him in person.
Right.
But yeah, he's awesome. I love. No,
Foreigner. he really is. I didn't know he was from Gates, New York. He's very proud of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. Yep.
So when he found out I was from Gates, I was like, wow, I'm really talking to Lou Graham.
Yep.
So I was like, I thought it was a joke. I'm like, this is really amazing.
He's a legend.
I'm like, you want to be part of my homeless mission? All right, let's go. You're not as cold as ice. He thought that was great.
Yeah, no, he's a good dude. I love Lou. A lot of good people that come from here.
There's a lot of good people in the ROC, the Rock.
Yes.
There really is. Like, me being from Geneva, living up here, at first I'm like, I'm not so sure about this. But, I made Rochester my home now.
Yeah.
There's so many good people in Rochester.
There is.
I've made so many friends. Because people go, what are you going to do now? Because you came up here for Tim. Well, I established myself. I made Rochester my home.
Yeah.
I'm not going nowhere.
Nope. I know it has its problems, but at the core end of it all, though, there's a lot of good things here that people can be proud of. And the community itself is one of them.
Yep. It really is. There's a lot of good people in Rochester.
Yes.
I mean, I wish we could cut down on the crime a little, because I was doing homeless outreach the other night, got in the midst of a high-speed chase, and I'm like, this is cool. Oof. But hopefully, the bail reform, that's an epic fail. We know that.
Yeah, that's part of the issues that we
Don't
see.
Get us started, right? Don't get us started.
Let's start that when you're in person. I think there'd be some good conversation there.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yes. Well, I can't believe we've been two hours in already, it seems like. So.
Hey, you know why? I told you we were worth the wait.
Of course. We did the best we could technically. We got on. We didn't have any intros or anything like that. We just wanted to get right to it because it made sense.
I'm going to say that was my fault, because I was supposed to be in person, and then he sent me a link, and then I eventually figured it out. But that was my fault. Don't blame it on him.
No, it's.
But we were worth the wait, I'm sure.
I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. It was it was the laptop's fault. We'll just blame the laptop. Computers. It was AI's fault. We gotta blame it on somebody. ChatGPT did it. Or it was the cat. Was it the cat? I think it was the cat. No, the cat's too innocent. It was ChatGPT and all those other people out there that are making artificial intelligence. They did this. They did this to us. They tried to sabotage us because we're trying to do real things. They don't like it.
Exactly. And they don't like it.
No.
They want to hide us for doing real things.
That's right. Rebecca, I appreciate you coming on with me. The next time,
I appreciate you.
I hope there's a next time. I'd like to have a next time for sure.
There will be.
But
I might show up with the Norquest. Come on now.
Hey, you never know. Hey, if that happens, we can make it happen. We have enough space.
Oh, I think it will be happen.
All right. Well, I will say that I look forward to the next time we do have an episode together and that we're in person. I will say.
Oh, we're gonna be in person.
Yeah, it'll be a lot better. Trust me.
I gotta raid your peanut butter whiskey.
We got it. We got it in there. But
thank you everybody for joining.
Yes, thank you all.
Please treat the Norquist family with nothing but love and respect when they come up here. You know, they're coming up here. You know, it's a difficult time for them.
It is.
I mean, they're meeting the DA for the first time. Let's show them love. Let's show them what New York's all about.
Yes.
We're not about what happened to Sam.
Nope.
Not at all. Let's show them love. I know they feel the love. I definitely know that. Let's show them love. I'm serious.
Yes.
And let's get this law. We're going to get this law. I'm not even going to stop. Nope. We're going to get justice for Tim. Let's do this.
Let's do it.
You know, it takes a village to do this.
Yeah, it does. It really does. You can't do it by yourself, and that's why we're doing all this.
No. And I'm going to be honest, when I go to Albany, I'm going to need support.
Yeah.
I mean, real support. Not fake support. I'm going to need real support.
That's right.
Because I'm going to have to get signatures, you know, and stuff like that.
Yep.
I need real support, you know, because I've been doing this alone. I'm not even going to lie. And, you know, I've done pretty good alone, but I need real support.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to get this law into effect. Like I said, I'm not even going to stop until I do. The Norquist family and Sam deserves it, and we're going to get this.
100%. I agree with you, and I want to see it happen, and I want to be able to talk about it when it happens.
Yep.
I do. So let's make it happen. You get in here, have some peanut butter whiskey, and we can celebrate.
Absolutely.
Be awesome.
You know it.
Beth says that she'll be with you in Albany, so.
Thank you, Beth. I appreciate that. She's the one actually doing the book.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And like I said, let's support the Norquist family. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm going to do some different things while they're up here. Let's support them.
Yeah.
You know, the trials will be coming up. They need all the love and support.
All the support, all the love that they can get, because it's going to be a trying time.
It is.
It's going to be challenging.
They have to relive all this. They shouldn't have to.
No.
You know, just like when I go to court with Tim, I'm going to have to relive that day. I know that.
Yeah.
I'm going to need support. You know, I mean, and you know, the people out there that don't know the Norquist family, please get to know the family.
Yeah.
They're wonderful people. They're my family. Mm-hmm. Linda is wonderful. Kayla is wonderful. I mean, everybody at the Norquist, Mason's wonderful. Rose is wonderful. I've gotten to know so many people through the Norquist family.
Yeah.
I mean, they're my family. They're my Minnesota family.
Yeah. You don't need to be blood related to be family. That's one thing you learn in life.
That boy, is that the truth. Mm. And I'm going to be honest, they respect the M-Balm so much. I appreciate everything you've I appreciate everything you've done for them. I can't thank you enough. Everything you've done for me, having my back.
Always.
You've been wonderful. Austin and Andrea too. Mm-hmm. You know, coming to our candlelight vigils.
Yeah.
You know, I appreciate everybody, the support.
Yeah, we're going to continue doing that. You know, it's important and near and dear to us, and we want to continue to let that be known. And first and foremost, just constantly having the conversations and having you on is a huge step in the right direction. Because at least if somebody sees this that didn't know about anything that you're doing, again, it'll enlighten them on what's actually happening behind the scenes rather than just seeing the internet drama. So
right,
because I know a lot of people see that and they get caught up in that, and it's just that's not the reality.
And people don't believe the keyboard warriors. I mean, they sit behind a screen. I mean, and judge people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy to me.
It is. It's something, again, it's something I don't understand and don't want to, but you know, some people just have nothing else going on in their life, and that's their biggest hoopla for the day. And if that's,
I mean, put yourself in Linda's, Kayla, and Mason's shoes. If this was your family member, how would you feel?
Exactly.
Seriously, how would you feel?
Yeah. It's 100% accurate, because if it hits them, and I hope they never have to deal with it, but I'm just saying, if it hits them, then they'll understand, and maybe they'll change their ways. But at the end of the day, though, we can't change them. They have to change for themselves.
No, you can't. And there's always somebody, even with Tim's case. I mean,
Yep.
There's always somebody that has something to say.
Always.
And it's so hurtful when you know the truth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Bonnie says, wait, you're a keyboard warrior.
Bonnie who?
Height?
Oh, jeez. Okay. Hey, we got Bonnie in the house. Hey, Bonnie, tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, she's not a good one. You can block her.
Okay, I've seen the name pop up a few times, but I'm not.
Yeah, she's not a good one at all.
No.
And Kayla and Linda will tell you that she's created drama for the family.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've already seen.
Hey, how did you pop in here, Bonnie? Tell us how you really feel. Quit the bullshit and support the family.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. So, I wasn't sure if that was like an inside joke or not, so now I know.
Nah.
Okay.
Like everything I've done for the Norquist family, the chicken barbecue, she had something to say. Everything I've done for them.
Yeah.
She's always had something to say about it. Okay, made fun of different things with the Norquist family. No, I'm not going to sit back and just think that's okay.
Yeah.
Get a life, Bonnie. Get off the computer and do something with your life.
Oh, boy. Well, on that note, though, we do appreciate everything you're doing, Rebecca. And
thank you.
I will say that with all that noise, just keep doing what you're doing. Just stay the course. Stay the course.
Yep, I will.
But
thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you to all of you who have watched and listened to this episode, whether it be live or not. Again, you can go to the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, and hit the bell. And you'll get all the notifications when we go live and upload new episodes and other highlight clips and all the like. You can go to the mbalmeffect.com, grab yourself some merch if you'd like to do that as well. Support the show, represent the dirty. And again, the pull-up or the pullover TME 2026 hoodie is available now, $34.99. It's nice and comfortable, and it is one of my favorite hoodies that we've come out with, so go check that out. Again, Rebecca, thank you for all you've done. Thank you for sitting here with me.
Thank you.
And I hope to see you in person very, very soon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And to everybody else, I hope you have a great rest of your week. This is Rebecca. This is the M-Balm Effect. Bye.
Well, there goes the neighborhood. It's a good thing no one got seriously hurt.
Oh my God!
Whoops, spoke too soon. Don't get too wrecked. See you on the next one.
The M-Balm Effect.